What's up, everybody? This your girl CC with Where It Begins magazine, and I got my co-host on the line. Hey, Mickey Monday, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. See, how about yourself?
Yeah. I'm doing good, and happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you too.
Thank you. We have a special guest on the line. I've been waiting to interview with her. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Auti Angel. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm basically kind of like J-Lo before J-Lo. Danced with Eazy-E NWA on the Straight Outta Compton tour, danced with LL Cool J on the Grammys, danced with Kid and Play. Pretty much just an old school pioneer in the industry as far as when it came to hip hop dancing was concerned, especially for Latin women dancing with African American artists. And yeah, so that's kind of me in a nutshell. And then I got into a car accident in 1992, May 3rd of 1992 to be specific, that left me paralyzed from the waist down. And so, to most, it would seem like my life should be over and all my dreams are shattered, you know, especially a dancer becoming paralyzed. It's like, oh no, all the dreams are shattered. However, I am still a professional dancer. So I don't want to go into too much because I could tell the whole story, but I want to follow this interview. But I just want to tell you a little bit about myself.
Awesome. Okay, so what made you want to be a dancer?
Well, to be honest with you, I feel like I was probably even dancing in the womb. Like, I believe I was born to be a dancer. Dance has always saved my life in so many aspects. When I went through abuse, child abuse, you know, the trauma at home, the drama, life-altering situations, things that I've gotten myself into, dance has always been my God's saving grace.
Okay. And out of everything that happened in your life, what kept you going? What motivated you to keep
going? Just knowing that this is a gift that God gave me, knowing that it's not mine to hold on to. Because it is a gift that was given to me, it's my job to give it back out to others. So no matter what I'm going through, whether would have been domestic violence and my whole world caving in and shutting me down, God always gave me dance as a light at the end of the tunnel and a way to praise my way through. Because, you know, in many words of forms of religious point of views, dance has always been a form of praise and worship. So that is what keeps me going and pushing my way through all of my challenges. I praise my way through. And how do I do that? I do that through dance.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's.
And I've seen a lot of your dances. I just want to say that, yes, that's what I was just about to say. Like, you are amazing at what you do. Mm-hmm. I tell you.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, there are a lot of people who like to dance. You know, you got the ones that go out to the clubs, we like to dance. Then you got the ones that love to dance, where they'll take it a little step further and go take classes. But then you have people that are born to dance, that just no matter where you are, what you're doing, what sound you hear, it will trigger something inside of you that just makes you want to move. And I feel like dancers are the interpretation of physical, musical. You know, so if you listen to music, you can hear it, you can't see it until you watch dancers.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah. Excuse me. So tell us a little more about how you got started with NWA, especially for someone like myself who's a little younger, you know, the younger generation. So unfortunately, at the time that you had your accident, I was, you know, a small child. So I'm still learning everything. And, you know, I read up on you a little bit more, but I want to know like how you really got into being a part of like NWA and going on tour with them.
Sure. Well, I'm sure that you're familiar with the film Straight Outta Compton. Mm-hmm. That kind of helped me tell my story to the next generation. For those of you who have not, you know, that are the younger generation who are I'm sure you're familiar with the music, but maybe didn't grow up in the culture of the music like I did. You get to experience a little bit about it through the movie Straight Outta Compton, which was a pretty accurate depiction of that life at that time. So back in 1990, let me go further back. Sorry, my accident is 1992. 89 is when I went on tour with Eazy-E and NWA. And it was, I want to say, 88. I had just turned 18. I had just moved out. And so my birthday's in October. So once January hit, it turned 89. And I was married for a short, very period of my time with a very abusive man. That's why I talk about domestic violence in my life story. My first husband tried to take my life with a sawed-off shotgun. So I literally escaped him. And after I escaped him, I had to hide out for a while. And me being a dancer, born to be a dancer, it's like I kept feeling this itch of wanting to go back outside and go out dancing. But I remember my boss telling me, like, you can't go anywhere for at least a month because he'll be looking for you. And sure enough, I found that out the hard way because I left out of the house to go out and have fun, being young and just naive. That somebody actually approached me that he had sent looking for me. So it was crazy how things happened during that period of my life. I go more into detail in my book, which you guys could look out for soon. But so this gentleman approached me. I freaked out, started talking into a whole nother, I started talking like this because I'm half English. My mother's white, but none of my family talked like this. But for some reason, God pulled that out of my tail and said, look, you're going to talk like this to save your life. Next thing I know, I turned to another girl and she's like, hey, do you want to go and audition? I was like, yes, absolutely. She's like, all right, meet me here tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I went to the audition and sure enough, I booked the tour, going on tour with Eazy-E and NWA, talking like this for 3 months. That's another.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I don't tell that story very often, so you're getting an exclusive.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah, we love an exclusive.
But I like that accent. What are you talking about? I like that.
Why, thank you. I mean, for talking like this for 3 months straight with the hottest brothers, you know, in the industry and having to keep face, I actually got really good at it. And the funny part was, you know, of course, it's NWA, niggas with attitude. And of course, that's what they would always call me. And they would always want me to say the word because I talked like this to them. They didn't know that I grew up in the hood right next to them. I'm like East Side Torrance and they're in Compton. It's like we're really close to where we grew up to one another. So yeah, when I was talking to because we didn't know each other from Adam before that. So anytime I talk like this, they're like, say it, say it. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to. And they're like, say it. And then I would say it. Like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's funny you say that because my mom is from Jamaica. So literally like, yeah. So it's like when you hear somebody with an accent, it's just, this is mind blowing. You want them to say every and anything in their language. It's crazy.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
I mean, I have some Black in me, but I look more Latina and, you know, I'm more Latin and white than Black. So I look like this, but them having me say the N-word, I was like, all right, I'm really going to offend some folks here, especially talking like this. You want me to say the N-word talking like this? You want me to get my ass beat? But I mean, it was so much fun. It was nothing but love on that tour. And yeah, it's they were like my brothers, our brothers, I'll say, because I'm not gonna be selfish. Us dancers, they treated us like sisters, you know, not just dancers. So we all hung out, we all went to go eat together. And of course, I'll be talking like this, and they'd be like, come here. I was a token English girl. Come here, come say something. Then what really messed me up, if you guys want a really cool story, they're like, we have a friend we want you to meet. We think you should hook up. And I'm like, all right, fine, because I know I like Black guys. And next thing I know, they're like, introduce me. This is our friend Slick Rick. And he goes, hello, nice to meet you. I was like, fuck. I was like, He didn't
Yeah.
know the real deal. And I was like, hello, he's like, where are you from? Yorkshire, England? He's like, fabulous. I'm from here. And I was like, I straight pulled it off. So of course, Slick Rick had a major crush on me through the whole tour, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna shake this one. But it helped me with my accent, so there you go. We never dated though. Yeah, I
Wow.
think it was more or less because I was trying to avoid him because I didn't want to get caught.
Wow. Oh, I know you have stories for days. Oh my goodness.
I have stories upon stories.
Yes.
So tell us a little more about Push Girls, because
Yes.
from my understanding, you won an award. You guys won an award last October.
Well, we just reiterated the award that we won. So we won
Okay.
Critics' Choice Awards for Best Reality Series. And we're having some things in the mix right now that I can't really speak upon, hence the reason all of the promotion and stuff like that. So Push Girls, for those who don't know, is about 4 women, 4 best friends in wheelchairs, and basically following our lives. So first season was following us before our accident, what happened, and then what are we doing now? So for instance, my story, J-Lo before J-Lo, dancing for everybody, about to sign a record deal, get into a car accident, still dancing, still doing professional dancing, still doing music. Then my other best friend, Angela Rockwood, who actually created the show, she's paralyzed from the neck down, and she was married to Dustin Nguyen, the actor from 21 Jump Street. And she was a model prior to her accident, got into her accident, became paralyzed from the neck down, models to this day, professionally, like from Nordstrom and everybody. So it's basically following our lives in that chronological order, just to, you know, as a form of inspiration. And then of course, season 2 came around and they wanted to add more drama. But the main reasons why us girls wanted to join, you know, this show, and we were all best friends prior to, we weren't casted. So at what you see is what you get, just real raw friendship in our lives to a T. But main reason why we wanted to join and do the show is we wanted to use our stories on a bigger platform to inspire others and to give another perspective on life. As that's a gift that we've been given, is a different perspective on life. You know, after having a car accident, I was never introduced to anybody with a disability prior to my car accident, so I didn't know anything otherwise. And then getting thrown into this phenomenal community of people with disabilities, you found out like, wow, you know, here we are kind of, I'll speak for myself, I was very narrow-minded as far as like what abilities can you do, what can't you do, and you know, if you had a disability, well then I guess you can't do much, can you? Found that out to be so not true once I joined the community. I'm like, I found people that were smarter than me, that could do more than I could, without limbs, without this, without that, and just, you know, it's just a whole new perspective on life. And that's something we don't take lightly, and we like to share it as much as possible. And especially, you know, people are like, you're such an inspiration, and we're basically living lives like everybody else, but we understand why we might be an inspiration is because a majority, even myself, a majority of us who were able-bodied wouldn't think that these individuals could do these things. You know, now that we see them do these things, we're like, oh my God, you're so amazing. But that's just because I couldn't see them being able to do it. But if I grew up with a brother or sister who maybe was, you know, was born without limbs or had a disability, then I would have gained that perspective at an early age, which I think, you know, kids that are born with disabilities are a blessing. They're like earth angels, and they're here to guide us and to show us what true life and true love is really all about.
Wow, definitely. Oh my
I
goodness.
love it.
That was a mouthful. Sorry. You guys chime in at any time because I could talk, as you can tell.
But what you're saying is so, it's so meaningful and rich, with the emotion. It's kind of hard to just chime in and
Yeah.
just stop you, because like I just said, what you said is, yeah, it's very moving, because that's the truth, honest to goodness truth. If you just look at things from that perspective, I mean, everybody that's here that's faced with some sort of adversity, whether it's, a physical disability, mental, or whatever the case may be,
Mhm.
them being on this planet is a
Yeah.
testament to being, being a stronger willed individual, just from the moment they're born. You know what I mean? They have to, acclimate and, you know, become one with that, and,
Yeah.
build from it. So yeah, I definitely, I mean, I agree with you on that.
A lot of us have a perspective too of just of our own perception of what our environment is. Like I said, if we're not raised with somebody that has a difference, then we don't know any better. For me, that was another blessing that I had, is I told you before that I'm half Latin and Black and half white. So I got to see that perspective. Like when I went out into the world, I didn't see color. Because I grew up with white and brown in my house. All I saw was love. So when I went to high school and found my first Black boyfriend and was called a nigger lover for the first time, I literally said, thank you. And they're like, no, that's not a good thing. I'm like, well, why not? And they said, that means you're dirty. And I was like, no, it doesn't. I took a bath. And they said, well, it means he's dirty. I'm like, no, he takes a shower too. And it was just such a beautiful experience that I'm thankful for, of being biracial, of not knowing color, having that type of prejudiceness. I remember asking my father, Pop, what would you think if I, started dating a Black guy? And he's like, I don't have a problem with it. He's like, but I will let you know you're going to have some issues when you go outside of this house with people looking at you strangely because you're dating a Black person. I'm like, why? And then he explained it to me because of what him and my mother went through, So it just depends on our own perception on life. If we're not raised around Black people, then we're like, oh my God. And you see a Black person that doesn't eat chicken, you're like, you don't eat chicken? You see a Mexican person not eat tortillas, you don't eat tortillas? And now you see a person who doesn't walk, dance. You dance? It's just that kind of same concept.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is crazy. Oh my goodness.
It is. But what has been one of your memorable experiences in the industry?
I would have to say there's two. I kind of answered this for you on your questionnaire, but I'll say it. One prior to my accident is, of course, dancing on stage with NWA when they did the song Fuck the Police. I mean, it doesn't get no more memorable than that, Yes, one of my most memorable moments is being on stage with NWA when they did Fuck the Police. And the whole scene was absolutely true. It's like the police officers told us prior to, do not do this song under any circumstances. And they're like, yeah, okay. Man, they got on that stage. Yo, Drake, you ready to do this? Yeah, you want to do this? Bam, then it just dropped. The whole crowd went crazy. Wow. And the next thing you know, the lights came up. And coming through the crowd. Yeah, it was pretty intense. And then my second most memorable is after my car accident, and that was dancing with Ludacris on the Vibe Music Awards in my wheelchair. That being the most memorable because that was my very first time that the industry acknowledged me as a professional dancer. And, even though I have a disability and I'm one of the first to do it. So, I feel truly blessed that God has graced me to continue to do what I do and do what I was born to do.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is.
Thanks.
Yes.
Excuse me.
And then I also see that you're the creator of the wheelchair hip hop dance. Can you give us more details on those classes?
Sure. Basically, it was just me doing what I love doing. I never stopped. You know, the moment I got in the hospital and they taught me how to do a few things like Pop a Willie for life skill reasons, I was like, wow, I could turn this into something. I've always been creative when it came to dance. So I just formulated it into an adaptive dance form. You know, wheelchair hip hop is just adaptive hip hop. And so my classes consist of teaching either one-on-one or groups. It's not always disabled individuals. It's able-bodied and disabled, together or separate. I teach musicality, freestyle, and the fundamentals of hip hop. So that's what it's basically all about.
So I was going to ask you, you know, aside from NWA, there's another hip hop artist that I see you frequent yourself with, and that's Snoop Dogg. And I was going to ask you, how's your friendship with Snoop Dogg? Because I see you guys are together, not a lot, but I mean, on
Yeah,
Instagram, I see.
Yeah. They are.
I was like, it's like there's more pictures of him here. Okay, cool.
yeah. So fun story. I don't recommend it, but when I had my accident, they transferred me over to a rehab facility to teach me how to become independent in a wheelchair. And I had just gotten there, I want to say a week, when these producers approached me and said, hey, we know we were trying to replace you. I was like, and you never will. But we can't find anybody. Do you still want to be our host for this show? So they came to me and were like, we still want you to be the host of the show. And I was like, okay, well, when do you guys start shooting? They said next week. I was like, I just got here and I hadn't even learned how to transfer into a wheelchair yet. And they're like, well, it's up to you, but you know, we have to start shooting. And I was like, it's mine. I'm yours. I'm the host. Don't replace me. We'll work it out. And they're like, you sure? And I was like, yes, absolutely, yes. So I started sneaking out of the hospital to host my own music video show. And that's where I met all of the newcomers at that time, which was Snoop, Warren G, Chris Tucker. So I got some of the very first exclusive interviews with these cats. But that's how Snoop and I began our friendship and our long-term sister brotherhood. Yeah, we're brother and sister, I like to say. He always looks out for me anytime I'm out and about. The one video you see me dancing with him, that one he actually didn't hire me for, was the first time I went to go see him perform, and I was just sitting on the sidelines and he was like, hey, come here. And I was like, wait, what? And right before that, his security guards were like, okay, you stay right here in this area because it's a fire hazard and we don't want to get in trouble. I'm like, okay, no problem. And so when he called me out and I started rolling out to the stage, I'm looking at them like, bye. And I get on stage and I start dancing, doing my thing. And then next thing I know, I look over and one of them has started coming like, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's not my fault. He called me out. And then I just kept dancing with him. And then it was all good from there. It was fun. And then he's asked me to get on stage several times since then.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's
Awesome.
very cool. Very, very cool. Very loving and caring. Kind of step back, you know, because everybody wants a piece of Snoop, especially when he's out. So he'll just kind of chill, you know, and do his thing. But if you're in his circle, you're in his circle, and he cares for you and loves you like a brother or sister. So, yeah.
Wow, that's dope.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
I miss smoking with him and Pac, because I remember I would always go to the sets when they were shooting the music videos with him and Pac, and yeah, we'd be sitting there smoking together. Miss those days.
Wow. Was the accent still there, or by that time you had already?
Oh no! Once I got home, I was like, it's a wrap. I pull it out every now and then when people ask about it, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I did tell somebody recently because, like, you know, I smoke weed for I have chronic pain since my accident. So hence the reason we smoke chronic. No, I'm just playing. So I'll smoke cannabis when I'm out. And I remember I was out at this party and one of my friends was, and I was telling the NWA story and I started talking like this. Next thing you know, I was talking like this for the rest of the evening. You know why? And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to pull a Tina Turner and keep this accent for the rest of my life. Because you know, Anime did not talk like how she talk right now, Miss Tina Turner. Yes, she adopted an accent.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So I'm gonna pull a Tina Turner and start talking like this for the rest of my life.
Oh my goodness.
I love it. But Mickey Monday, is it time for trivia? Or we have any other questions?
No, I was gonna ask you the same thing because I know you've been cutting in and out. Let's see if you wanted to get one more question in. Okay.
So we have 2 trivia questions for you.
Oh, help me, Jesus. Thank God I didn't smoke yet. Okay, go for it.
The trivia questions about yourself, so hopefully.
Oh, no, that would be basic.
Oh, okay.
Right.
What year was Tupac born and where was I? Like, oh, yeah, I'm not good at Jeopardy. But go ahead.
I ain't gonna do you like that. We're gonna have to talk off a line for that one.
Okay.
What's the most interesting building you've ever seen or been in?
Most interesting building. That's a good question.
Yes. You ever seen or been in?
I don't even know the name of the building, but it was just like really, really high rise in Singapore. I went to travel to Singapore to teach my dance workshop out there, and they had this really nice big high rise thing out there that we went in. We had dinner. It was amazing. It was phenomenal, but I don't know the name of the building. I don't remember. Sorry, it was in Singapore.
Okay, that's fine. I have to take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up because I do remember hearing about a building in Singapore that's really tall, and it's like
yeah.
And then the view was like, wow. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna look it up.
I think it'll make me look it up too.
So my trivia question is, who would you say your celebrity lookalike is? Or who have you been mistaken for?
Okay, well, back in the day, I used to get Nia Peebles, which you probably don't even know who that is. But of course, everybody, and it like would hurt me for so long. I'm over it now. But for the longest, because I tell you, I'm J-Lo before J-Lo. Everybody's like, oh my God, you look just like J-Lo. I was like, I was before her. So yeah, but a lot of people are like, oh, you resemble J-Lo in some of my photos and stuff. But yeah, that's the main one I get. You look just like J. I'm like, I don't look just like her. We look alike, but not just alike.
I see it. I do. But y'all, both of y'all are beautiful, so that's not a bad thing because both of y'all are beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Definitely. But before we get off, tell everybody where they can follow you.
Well, everyone can go to my website, which is autiangel.com. It's AUTIANGEL.com. You can find videos in my bio and stories and, just keep up with me there. Or you can follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Auti Angel, all one word. So it's at AUTIANGEL.
Awesome. Well, I want to say thanks for interviewing with us. You're awesome. I just love your work. Continue to grind, and I'm looking forward to everything you're going to do for 2021. And again, I appreciate you.
Yay, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, Katrina, if you're listening in somewhere. Such a pleasure to finally get a chance to meet you both. I apologize about last week, me and PTSD and Eastern Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, those.
It's all good. The fact is that we're here now, and that's what's important.
Yes. Such a pleasure to meet you both, and many blessings to you and to your listeners. And remember, no matter what obstacle comes your way, it's always overcomable. And if you have a heartbeat and breath in your lungs, artificial or not, meaning pacemaker and life support. If you have those in your body, you have purpose. Continue to follow your purpose and God will make a way. God bless you guys.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Those
Oh my
words was
goodness.
just touching. I needed
Yeah.
those.
I was gonna say you should be a public speaker, or better than that. When that book comes out, you have to let us know so I can get that book, because I
For
know it's
sure.
gonna
Yes,
be
because I'm
some.
a bookworm, so I want my autographed copy. So as soon as I'm gonna be ordering so I can get my autographed copy. Definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you guys again.
You're welcome.
And thank you also, and you'll be in the next magazine, so can't wait.
Yay. Thank you guys. And I
All
want
right,
my
have a
copy.
blessed
So send me
Tuesday.
a copy. It's online.
Yes,
She'll
it's
send
digital,
you
but
a
I
copy.
do printed copies, so you will get a printed copy.
Oh, cool. Yay. Very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you have a blessed Tuesday and be safe.
You guys as well. God bless you guys.
Thank you as
Okay.
well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.